Well, good evening, folks, and welcome back to the farm. It is an absolutely glorious evening out here this evening, just like a Garth Brooks song. Yes, the thunder rolls, which, by the way, is probably one of the greatest songs of all time. But anyways, yes, just gorgeous. We're getting a big thunderstorm roll through. Of course, why is it going to rain like this? Well, it's because I just did some spraying earlier today down in our west pasture. We're dealing with some scentless chamomile, aka mayweed, which is a noxious weed, and so there's no there's no good way to get rid of that. You could spend hours and hours and hours trying to pull that stuff and burn it and bag it and all that stuff. So we did opt to do some spraying. So we use Grazon. Grazon is a long-acting residual. So something we'll have to manage if we're moving animals around, that they could technically pick that up and then deposit that again in another area. So any manure that comes from animals that have grazed in there will not be used for compost, because that could then have a detrimental effect on our garden. But yeah, just a glorious evening. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Like, that thing means business. And well, I guess we'll see. We'll see if we lose power here tonight or if we're just going to get one heck of a show. So I just put the two big dogs in the shop there. Don't want them getting, off on a walkabout, scared of the thunder or lightning or anything like that. So pen them up. They'll be good in there. Now I got to go turn on the electric fence over here. Carmen turned it off earlier today when she was rounding up the donkey for the farrier, just so she could get through the fence. But yeah, I'm gonna be I don't really feel like touching a ground rod right now, especially not when we got lightning crashing all around us. But I also don't feel like coming out and finding sheep everywhere tomorrow. Listen to that, boy, oh boy. We're gonna sleep good tonight. There's nothing that helps a guy sleep like a good thunderstorm. There we go, the Energizer's back on. I didn't get electrocuted. That's a win. I'm gonna run inside, fetch up a cup of tea here, and settle in for the show. Well, you know, the weather just got harsh when a hawk lands on your eaves trough and takes shelter. Just a pretty little one, but nevertheless, batting down the hatches by the looks of things. Well, thankfully the weather's smartened up. It's still kind of cloudy and overcast. Might do something later, I don't know. But I certainly wasn't about to go over and move the chicken tractors in that lightning storm. There's just nothing appetizing about grabbing a giant steel box and hauling across the wet ground in a lightning storm. That seems like a good idea. So now that things are smartened up, I'm gonna go over, get the chickens moved and fed, and we'll have a look at the lawn to see exactly how those chickens are chewing the grass down. So when I say lawn, that's actually really a bad choice of words. This is just a grassy area in between our rows of trees. So this is going to be future shelter belt here if they eventually grow up, which they will. I mean, in 2017 we planted these trees and they've grown from 4 to 6 inches to now 2 feet tall. So there's growth there, but it's widely unusable space. It's not like we can run sheep in here because they'll just eat the trees down, and then I'll be further behind. But I'm gonna go ahead and move this chicken tractor here. You can see what day one looks like, day two, and so on and so forth. And we'll go down the row and you can see what the regrowth and re-energization of the grass looks like. So this beautiful spot right here, this is where the chickens are just coming off of. You can see they've weathered that ground pretty harsh, except for the one spot right there below the feed bucket. And I'd pull that out every time I move the chicken tractor. But so yeah, so that's day one. That's where they were parked yesterday. Day two, day three, day four. Day four, you can already see a significant amount of regrowth and changing of color, darkening of color by comparison to the neighboring vegetation. You get up into day five. By the time you get to day six, if it weren't for the stacks of chicken manure that's here, you'd never even know the chickens were here because the regrowth is just so fantastic. And then you get up into day 7 and then day 8. So we're at day 8 there. You can see there's like an actual definitive line. Oh boy, donkey noises. There's like an actual definitive line there where the chicken tractor was parked to where it wasn't parked. Chicken tractor, no chicken tractor. So it makes a huge difference to the health of the soil, the health of the grass, and these chickens right now, I mean, whatever they're doing, what they're doing, but they don't even know it, but they're helping us out for next year for a grass regrowth for next year's chickens. So my in-laws stopped by today and they were asking with the chicken tractors, are they only eating grass? And no, grass is the supplement. Each of these chicken tractors is getting about 9 to 10 pounds of poultry grower ration right now every single day, and the grass supplements. If they weren't on grass, they were just in an enclosed coop, they would probably be eating closer to 14 pounds of grower ration every day. And right now they're approximately 4 to 4.5 pounds per bird. So they've still got another 4.5 to 5 weeks until they reach in butcher age, or initial butcher age. You could technically have them right now. They are right around the rotisserie chicken size. I'm not a big fan of butchering at this age because, well, it just doesn't seem fair. So what does 9 pounds of feed looks like? Well, it looks like 3 of these. So these square mouth scoops, dump 3 of those in there, and that's what they'll eat in a day. Saying that though, these feeders actually hold 18 pounds of feed, and so we always make sure it's at least that full, just in case you get off work late one day or something goes awry and you're not here to feed them. We want to make sure the pantry's full for them. We don't want these birdies going hungry. It's not part of the plan. Now, do these birdies ever waste feed? Absolutely. Right around the feeder every day I move them, there's always a ring of grain there, so there's always some that gets spilled, gets on the ground. They kind of tread on it, doesn't get eaten. Chicken tractor's got to move. It's got to move because they're always pooping stuff here. We don't want them to deal with dirty dishes. How do we deal with the waste? Well, so this is yesterday's, right? This is where they were yesterday. There's this ring. Okay, let's go look at the day before. No ring, just a little bit of manure and stuff. Ring is gone. What happened to it? Our free range chickens came here, same as they do every day. They follow the chicken tractor. They usually come over about 5:30 in the morning and they'll clean up the mess in behind the chicken tractor. So no waste. Wonderful, right? That's the worst thing about, you $18 a bag for chicken feed, and you get a half a pound of it on the ground every couple of days. That adds up quick. But if we're pushing that into our layer chickens, our free range layer chickens, 18% protein, that's fantastic, right? That's zero waste. That's exactly what we're looking for. Well, I had to bite the bullet and get my sweater on. It's getting cool here in the evening. I don't know what that's all about. The last 2 mornings it's dipped down really, really cold. In fact, the other morning we actually had frost, the 7th or 8th of June or whatever it was, we had frost. Like, wow. So yeah, bundle up. Anyways, I'm gonna grab a bucket of feed for the pigs here and get them all fed supper time and tucked in for the night. I guess I can probably let the puppy dogs out too. Come on, Ben. Come on, Nico. Now that the big lightning storm's all done, we don't have to worry about the puppies running away. So tomorrow might have big news to share. Might have no news to share. I guess we'll see. A few months back, actually, no, how long is it? It's more than a few months. It's more than a handful of months. Anyways, we sold our quad and we bought a side-by-side. And we thought, well, the side-by-side is going to be fantastic for doing chores. It's going to make life so much easier. The box is what made the difference, because we could put things like buckets of feed. I'm packing a bucket of feed right now just because it's nice out. It's the evening time, whatever, right? It's good exercise. Sometimes in the winter, it really, really sucks, especially when you want to be in and out and get done. You don't want to be packing buckets of feed all winter long. So we bought this side-by-side, and it's a Polaris 570 mid-size, 2.5 seater. It's called a 2-seater, but it's got like a half seat in between the 2 seats. We realized really, really quickly this is not really conducive to, going out and doing chores with the family, going out and moving cows, going out and doing really anything as a family unit. So Ritchie Brothers has a sale tomorrow, and we're actually looking for a Polaris 570 crew. There's a handful of them there. Some of them are in better condition than others. So So we were bidding on one of those, and I guess we'll see what auction day brings. If the price is right, well, we'll be selling the other 570 and bringing home a bigger unit. But again, tune in tomorrow and we shall see what happens. Well, everybody's fed, watered, tucked in for the night. I got today's eggs. I think we're in pretty good shape. So that means time for a cup of tea. So I'll let you go for now. I hope you have a fantastic evening. We'll see you tomorrow.